October 18th at around 7 o'clock. Close enough, I guess.
7.
Can you stand for pledge of allegiance, please? I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Good point.
Any additions or anything to the agenda?
I don't have any.
Nothing?
No.
Take
I make a
motion.
motion to approve the agenda as submitted.
Second, in favor?
Aye.
Okay, agenda extended. Do you have any announcements, Robert?
Mr. Chairman, the only announcement is that the Super Town meeting is on Monday, October 24th at 7, and followed by the special Fall Town meeting at 7:15 up at the Ayer Shirley High School Auditorium at 141 Washington Street. So just a reminder,
Mhm.
the warrants have been mailed out.
Yep.
Everything's posted online, and I think we're in good shape
Okay.
for both town meetings.
And we'd love high attendance.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, Selectmen Hillman's at Nature's,
Classroom.
yeah, Nature's classroom up with the 6th grade tonight. So I guess it was a 3-day event
Yeah.
for 6th graders. But you really want to attend and learn something about it. Public input, anybody? Okay,
Hi,
Hey.
I'm Karen. Oh, you have to come here.
Yeah.
These are the rules.
Yes.
Rules,
Yeah.
the rules. Karen Strickland from Ayer Moving and Storage, my brother Phil Strickland,
Yeah.
brother, not husband. So, as you know, we're, I've been a long time taxpayers in the town of
Yeah.
Ayer, and we participated in the sign program at
Yeah.
the Circle as well as Patriot Painting.
Okay.
And the signs were taken down, I guess probably now it's a week and a half or so ago, and we didn't, neither of us knew where they went, so after some investigation, it was discovered that Mr. Hillman had taken them. He's returned them, he's apologized for taking them to begin with, but it was, I know that he had sent an email to a lot of people in town, and all of the aggravation for us could have been avoided if someone had actually read his email and asked him what he had done. The sign could have been back. We
Right.
wouldn't have spent a lot of time on the
Yeah,
whole situation, especially since, you know, they were told not to do anything.
Mhm.
We were actually in the middle of maintaining it, but,
Mhm.
you know, we didn't know a lot of rain, so,
mhm.
you know. But now the moms are back and the signs are back and everything's good, and we're looking forward to the
Well,
future of the
yeah.
program. So,
Yeah, we appreciate the fact that, you know, you keep it beautiful, it helps. And
yeah,
I don't think Mr. Hillman had all the information that he needed. But we do apologize for the board, and I'm sure it's not going to happen again.
yeah,
And Robert, I think you talked to?
yes,
Right.
yeah. We talked to Alan as well.
Okay,
Everybody
yeah.
was very helpful, but Erin can speak for herself.
Yeah.
On Monday, you went to the police on Monday, and I went on Tuesday.
Mhm.
All that whole thing, if someone had just called him after they'd gotten the email and said, hey, what'd you do?
Right,
It probably could have been fixed before we got to the long.
Yeah, we were told they were vandalized,
okay.
so we kind of lost about it.
You know?
Yeah, it was a little miscommunication there.
Yeah, so we're good, they're back in place, we look forward to the new program, and,
Yeah, Alan's all over it, he's gonna,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know, enhance it a bit too.
But it was
so.
pretty upsetting giving them
Oh,
as much time as we've been in town.
Oh, I
Right,
understand.
yeah.
And
Oh,
the amount of taxes we pay, and, you know, just to have it whole
Yeah.
happen from
No.
the selectmen was disconcerting.
Very,
Yes.
apologize very
Yes,
much
yeah.
for it.
No
And
problem,
we,
thank you.
there was no intention there to,
Yeah,
you know,
no, I know,
okay.
something slipped through the cracks.
Yes, it did. But it won't happen again.
Yeah, you guys have anything? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your patience.
Have a good night.
All right, you too, thanks. Anybody else, public input? Nope. All right, Chief Murray. Appointment of a patrol officer.
We look spiffy tonight.
Thank you. So do you.
Thank you.
Him or the chief?
Both of them.
Oh, okay.
If I could introduce, please, Christopher Lowney.
Christopher, how are you?
Hi.
Christopher is a candidate for one of our 2 open positions for patrolman. As you know, the positions were approved by the town meeting in May,
Mm-hmm.
and we're just now getting to finally making an appointment. This is with only one. We still are working on a second. But Chris was chosen top of everybody out of a final pool of 7. The investigator was Detective Kelly Barhite. She did this background.
Okay.
With an all board comprised of Lieutenant Gill, who's here tonight,
Yep.
and Sergeant Edmonds.
Okay.
Chris is a longtime resident of Groton, graduate of Roger Williams University with a BS in criminal justice and a minor in sociology. He's been to the MPTC Reserve Academy, and he's done some interns with Burlington and Groton over the last couple of years.
Got some experience.
Got a little bit of experience, right? Not as much as we're used to.
Yeah.
But again, he impressed the board so much that we thought he should be the first pick.
Yeah.
As far as, he will need academy training.
Okay.
We have a class starting in January,
Okay.
January 2nd, we'd like to get him into at this point tonight. We'd like his appointment to be effective November 1st with the usual caveats, physical, psychological.
Right.
And since he is untrained, starting at a rate of step
Step
1.
one.
I'd just like to recognize that his parents, Arlene and Dan, are here in the audience to
How you doing?
support Chris.
Hi.
His sister would be here, but she's in school.
Okay.
All right. So is there a big difference? I mean, I know you said he did the 40-week MPTC Reserve Intermittent Police Academy. And how long would be the full-time?
6 months,
6 months.
full-time.
Wow.
Yes.
So it would be kind of almost twice trained.
Yeah, there's a big difference.
Yeah.
It's like 400 hours for the full-time academy.
Wow. Well, at least he goes in with the basic understanding of it.
Chris, is this something you always wanted to do, or is it just?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Since a young age, I knew going into school, law enforcement, police officers is what I wanted to do for a long time.
Okay. Yeah.
Put myself in this position to
Mhm.
continue a long career.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
You got some good people to learn from.
And an excellent.
He's new, so I wouldn't worry about him, but
At least you recognize.
yes, I did. Anything else? No? You have anything to say, Chris?
No, sir.
Okay.
Appreciate you taking time out to see me.
Thank you.
He looks a little nervous.
Sir.
Yes, you do. I know, I noticed
I
that.
don't like sir.
I did. Just the way he said it, sir. I like him already.
It just makes me feel older than I actually am.
You are.
I know.
Well, with that, I'd like to make a motion that the board appoint Christopher D. Lowney, right? Did I pronounce it right?
Correct.
Okay. To the position of patrol officer for the Ayer Police Department with the effective November 1st, and it's contingent upon the physical and psychological exam administered by the department.
It's step 1.
That's step 1.
Second. Any more discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
You're in.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Don't ever call me ma'am.
We'll see you around.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
So my other item tonight,
Clear a room.
if you don't mind, are the traffic regulations of the town.
Okay.
And these are something that were approved by the Board of Selectmen in 1939.
I couldn't believe it when I read that.
Yeah,
I was like, is that
I
a
can't-
typo?
I can't find anybody in town who has a copy of them, except for me, Liz.
Yeah.
And so these are the regulations. This is how they were presented, how they were written.
Wow.
There's been several changes over the years, documented here and there, but never here. So you have to know where to look for these things, like parking meters. Came and gone, but I've done several things since I became chief. Chief Rizzo did several things. And although you can find them in different places, you can't find them all in one spot. So what I would like to recommend the board approve, excuse me, is a review of these.
Okay.
Find ones that are most current, most accurate, get all the addendums in here and rewrite the whole thing into something that's more modern, following whatever guidelines or template that the town would like to use.
Okay,
Possibly into a manual or some spreadsheet or however you want to do it.
okay.
I would think a manual.
I think a manual would be
That's-
best,
yeah.
because you can tab it, then you
Right.
can make additions. So we've got some parking things coming up in the future that, you know, I would plan for,
Mhm.
and put all that in, and I would like to volunteer to take this on
Oh.
and do this for the board, and then present it for your approval at some future meeting.
Can you present it a little larger print? It's a little,
Well, I gotta tell you, when I saw this in the packet, like I said, first when I saw 1939, I was like, is that a typo?
No, it's actually true.
But I think this is perfect.
Sure.
He's the perfect person to do it.
yeah, is there, Chief, do you know, does it have to go to town meeting or anything?
No, this is
No.
board approved,
Okay,
so you guys can approve them, and, I mean, that's how it started, and you've
Yeah.
approved all the changes since then, or some
Right.
board has.
Mhm.
okay.
Mhm.
So that would all, would be all that would be necessary.
All right, cool. Yeah, we appreciate it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a great night.
All right, you too, thanks. Alicia,
Alicia's back.
good, call her up.
Hi, I miss you
Alicia.
guys so much.
No, we went through a long span where we didn't see her. Now it's like, you know, we're gonna see you all the time.
Well, the bank had given me the wrong number, as you see in the memo. So this is the last time, the same subordination, it just was with a different number. It changes the loan to value ratio to 66.76%, so it's still one that we recommend that you do. No real changes, just we have to make different changes on 2 documents. So we just need them re-signed.
Okay,
Okay. So do you need a new motion?
Yeah, we had to have you vote on it again
Okay.
and then re-sign them.
Okay. I make a motion that the lien subordination request case 05-291 and 06-315, as submitted in the packet, be approved with signature by the chair.
second? And you said it's what, 66.76, I said?
Mhm.
Yes.
All right, any more discussion? All in favor? Aye.
So I'm gonna leave these with Robert.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Sorry to have to do that again.
No,
It's okay, we like it when we see you, so.
It's good to see you guys too.
all right, Alicia,
Thanks.
thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, Matt, update.
So, Mr. Chairman, at the request of the board, would ask Mr. Bruno Fisher, the Deputy Administrator for MART, to come forth and per the request of Selectmen Hillman and the board from the last meeting, was to ask to have MART come before the board to give an update as to where they are at in the overall parking project. We'll say that, put it that way, and to answer any questions that members of the board, or if any members of the public at your discretion through the chair may have. So,
Okay. Welcome.
I'm Bruno Fisher, Deputy Administrator down at MART in Fitchburg. So we have now executed a contract with a consultant for A&E, more E than A. The architectural is not really a lot to it.
Right.
A little bit of landscaping and lighting architect, but
Yeah.
mostly engineering. The firm is Weston and Sampson. It was 8 respondents. We had a very good submission and a lot of good proposals, and it was pretty difficult to choose, but these ended up being the choice of everybody. We executed the contract on about the 30th of September. We've actually had our first meeting last Thursday with ourselves, myself, and Mohammed. And we had George Kahali from the Planning Commission, our Transit Director, as well as Robert and Carly, and then one other person attended. And there was 3 individuals from the consultant, the engineering firm, Weston Sampson, and one of their subs is Timothy Haas, is the architecture firm. We talked about quite a few things, one being the MIPA process that it sounds like a DCR is asking about. And so on that, they actually had already addressed it in their scope of services that they had submitted to us as part of their proposal. is that they don't believe it actually meets any of the thresholds of MEPA. There's things for impervious surfaces and the like. So they're going to actually submit a request for an advisory opinion. And I'm not sure if DCR has some of the reasoning why they wanted the E&F, which was a bit more of a costly, cumbersome process. But again, it's kind of at their purview. But so again, we'll have Weston and Sampson submit that request for the advisory opinion, and we can kind of go from there, and we'll keep everybody updated. Okay. We also talked about various parts of the project, the pedestrian access and the kiss and ride drop off area over at the area that was acquired by the town. At fencing down at the station, which I'll talk about in a minute, the pedestrian crossing, and then kind of just in general the commuter rail parking area and the options over there. And we also requested of them, and they had actually submitted it in their scope of services, proposed scope of services, to have them, even though the advocates, so to speak, or so-called advocates building is really not part of the project per se. We did ask them, for opinions on, they've done a lot of projects. They do quite a bit of work for the T as well, on stations and whatnot, just to give some opinions and thoughts, recommendations on what might be the optimal use of that building. Whether it stays with the town, leasing it to individuals, or potentially some other uses. So they're going to provide those as well. Kind of some of the pre-things we'd like to try to get done this year if possible. We kind of asked them if they could come up with some fencing options. I mean, one thing we don't want to do is spend for a permanent fence, and then if we have to do footings and whatnot for the sidewalk and asphalting work that's got to be done over there, don't certainly want to take it back out. Right. But we don't exactly want to put in a tent fence that doesn't look that good either. So they were going to try to come up in the next couple of weeks with some ideas on that. Okay. They also immediately what we're going to try to do. The town's already through the DPW. Mr. Wetzel has done some work to try to open up that the cat sidewalk there, so there could be entry in through there, as well as doing the tree that needed to be taken down and some hydrant, which I think he has to do some additional work on that. But that will at least allow us to do some access down there during winter. We also want to try to see about, even if we can't do any permanent lighting, one thing we looked at was talking with them, through their project would just try to do some work with National Grid. They usually put lights on poles or whatever, and then they just give you an account for it, and you pay for it. So we're going to try to see about, and they were going to look, the consultants were going to look at what might be places where they could put some lighting to light up the area better or whatnot, and make it safer and whatnot. But certainly the more permanent is going to be adding light posts and whatnot.
I don't know if it'd help or not, but we're in the process of buying the lights from National Grid.
Okay. That will help. That's good news. And certainly we can incorporate that in. I mean, we asked the consultant just to say, in order to light the area, use your lighting consultant, what would be optimal to kind of so people could, without turning it, into a daytime, what would be, make it a little safer over there, a little more attractive. Right. And then certainly the more permanent would be, again, some light posts through there, some benching and all that for the landscaping. As far as we're working to try to acquire the 3 properties across the street on Park Street. We've sent out, we have kind of the federal process is a little bit cumbersome. We have to do appraisals, and then you have to have a review appraiser, look at the appraisal, make sure it was done properly and all that. That's all been done. Offer letters were sent out to all 3 property owners, and we have received at least 1 response back, and we're waiting for 2 more. Then really I think the other item is really the kind of the timeline is so the consultant is actually on the clock already now for they're going to do a group of schematic designs, which are just in general they're picking 2 different kind of options, and then they're going to have a sub option of each. One is if we acquire all the properties and what 2 options might look like there, and then one if there's no ability to acquire any of the properties if they're just the prices don't come into line. And so what would the options look there? They'll do 2 options of each, with and without properties over there, and what the parking facilities might look like, as well as counts and parking space counts and whatnot. And then after that, so then, and again, it will be the same group involved. So as they come up with the schematics, that would be the time we come to the town, and then whatever format the town looks to seek to get public input, and advisory groups and whatever it may be, to kind of weigh in on who likes what options and what the town really wants to go ahead with. And then the board would actually, give us a formal this is the one we want to proceed with.
Right.
And then you kind of move more into the final design where they really start to put together the fineries of it, having some more public meetings as they refine the process going forward, and, you know, as they add things and you know, based on input from the public, the board and merit and whatnot. And then, you know, you really end up with the finished product, which then again, the board would sign off and say, this is it, and we would proceed to construction. So we really do figure that, you know, construction can probably start next spring. Hopefully we have a mild winter.
Yeah.
You know, and so, you know, maybe, you know, late April, late March, early April, but if not, you know, maybe a little, you know, closer to May or whatnot. But it certainly would probably take into next fall, potentially even into early 2018. But the hope is to maybe get the biggest construction done, you know, the part that requires being in the ground, more done as early as possible, and then maybe more of the things that can be done above ground, you know, that you know, kind of finish up type items, maybe done a little bit later on, so it, you know, the station can technically be, you know, functional.
Yeah,
So
right.
that was kind of the update.
Okay. And Weston Sampson, so they'll come to us with a number of different options.
Yep.
Depending upon where the land, if it's bought or not. And they're gonna do some options with the building too, you said?
They're going to get some
Yeah,
recommendations.
just recommendations.
Yeah, in that case, they're not going to do any, you know, what it should look like or what they would change it to, but just recommendations on, you know, if it would be better, you know, left as it is with whoever may be leasing it.
Yeah.
If there's potential for making it into more amenities for the traveling public or whatnot, and
Right.
again, just present them to us. We'll give them to the town, and, you know, it's really up to you as to what
Right.
you see as the, you know, optimal use of the property, I guess.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that, you know, initially we had 5.1 million and, because of a match, but that match disappeared and we ended up with 3.8.
It's a
4
4 million.
4 million.
Right.
So, I mean, that's quite a drop, but, Robert?
Mr. Chair, if I could just touch upon a couple of things that Mr. Fisher mentioned and just add just a couple of things to that. Just to clarify, as Bruno said, it is important to note that when we're talking about the interim measures to the pedestrian access, those are interim measures, if you will, to get through the winter. And there's a few things driving that. As the board is well aware, there is now more than ever a clear demarcation between the public land and the private property owner. And there are some considerations we have to make for the tenants in the Advocates building in terms of parking and so forth. And that when we talk about these pedestrian interim improvements, that's just what they are, interim improvements. They're not necessarily the final design per se, but conceptually, from the beginning, that is the access point in front of the building. So those improvements that need to be made there. When I was at MART, and as Bruno mentioned, this was their first sort of kickoff internal meeting from the town, myself, Ms. Antonellis, Mr. Wetzel from DPW. Alan was going to be there, but he had another group. We had Kathleen O'Connor from the ADSAC and the consultant. I stressed that these final design improvements need to go through the public process here. What we're looking to do are these basic interim ones to get through the winter. The second thing, just to clarify what Mr. Fisher said, the MIPA piece has to do with the transfer of the existing rail lot from the DCR to the town, and I do want to thank Representative Harrington and the delegation for their efforts, and that looks like it's teed up to go, but we needed to have a consultant on board to do that. Another key piece which the board will be notified about starting tomorrow, we're going to advertise, is, as everyone is aware, for the last, at least since I've been here, and especially the last 3 years, the whole focus was on the acquisition of that access property to the platform. As everybody knows, as a result of town meeting on May 9th, we've also acquired the Advocates building, which we've been told we should call the USO building anyway. I've asked the Economic Development Director, he's going to be doing this on a 2-day charrette on Friday, November 4th and Saturday, November 5th at the Advocates building in Depot Square as sort of a public visioning charrette to gather input and ideas as to what the optimal use for that space is. There's no question it was acquired through eminent domain for public purposes. It has to have a component as far as the public access, but since May 9th, and we've only owned the building for a couple months, we've heard all kinds of opinions across the spectrum, from tear it down to repurpose it, to potentially lease it. We need to go through that process with the public to find out what is the best use for that building. And as Mr. Fisher mentioned, some of the improvements or what we do with that building, some of that is outside of the funding scope, if you will. And so those are future discussions on that piece. Finally, through you, Mr. Chair, could you, Bruno, explain on the public piece? In other words, the consultant, as I understand it, is going to develop some schematics on paper to start, they're just concepts, as a starting point for that discussion. They're in no way etched in stone.
Oh, no,
What is the approximate timeline, did they say, before those would be available?
8 weeks, and we're probably already a little over a week into that. So they'll, so again, probably in the next probably before the 8 weeks is up, I think they'll want to probably be, they'll notify us. They'd like to probably have that meeting, and then we'll certainly coordinate about, what makes the most sense. It may be like more, if it's better for a weekend or something other when more people can attend or whatnot. So we'll just coordinate that with Robert and he with yourselves and figure that out. But so again, we're already a week or more into that 8 week concept design.
But as the board knows, that then kicks off, and not to glaze over it, that's the real work in terms of trying to develop the public consensus with members of the public, department heads, even the board, that whole ADSAC, that whole process as to what the design ultimately at the end point would then come to the board for approval or not, depending on that design. So that is about 8 weeks before we start that process.
And actually, the board gets 2 cracks at that, both at the concept level, and then again with that, as we're going forth and probably having another public meeting as going through the final design, and they're getting more input about can we have more or less lighting and landscaping and all the things. There'll be public input for that, and again, the board will get to do that final vote on the final design. So that's when they start producing construction documents and specifications and the like.
And the last point, Mr. Chair, because I know that you've brought this up in the past, as have the board, and it's a key point that, again, the town and MART, as well as stakeholders, we need to have this discussion at the appropriate point. When we get to the point that construction would begin on the Park Street lot, is the whole issue of the interim parking. In other words, where are these people going to park during the construction? I've explained to MART, they have the report as well. There was the previous concept, there's the hybrid lot concept. There's a concept of potentially other locations. The DPW superintendent has just started the comprehensive parking study that the board wanted. But all of those options remain on the table. And I just appreciate the opportunity to stress upon that because frankly, I continue to hear concerns, and I understand those concerns publicly and so forth, that either this is being fast-tracked or that we're not going to go through the public design process and that folks aren't going to be incorporated into this whole process. And that's anything but the truth. But I know a lot of people have concerns on that, and we will continue to follow that plan to have everybody involved to the extent that we can, and to come to the best consensus that we can in the end for your consideration.
Fast track?
I've heard that things are being fast-tracked, that people are being excluded, all kinds of conclusions that have been jumped to when, as Mr. Fisher mentioned, first of all, the consultant, which was MART's prerogative to hire, and they are the project manager, it's a federal transit project, was inked on September 30th. It's October the 18th. And I just, again, want to reemphasize, because I take this very seriously, it goes back to one of the reasons I was hired. A, that we secured the funding. B, that we secured the project. And C, that the project follows the best practices and is a success overall. And that's easier said than done, but we'll get there.
Right. All right. Anybody have any questions? Patrick?
Yeah, Patrick Hughes. I'm also a member of ADSAC. And I'll tell you right now, I'm one of those people who's expressed that this is getting fast track. I'm a construction professional. If you're familiar with the Concord Carlisle High School campus, I was the project superintendent on BD Center. So large-scale projects like that really need a big one for me. So I know what it takes to put something together. And some of us have been at this for about 14 years, we've been through a lot of issues. And the one thing I'm not hearing here is that public input before the design process begins. I'm hearing it's coming in after the design process. You know, once there's a plan on the table and money's been spent, contractors don't really like to go back to the table and redesign because they start losing money. So why isn't there public input before?
It's going to be during the concept. I mean, they're just going to develop 4 concepts and just no real,
Yeah.
no real definitive to it. Just kind of like, what would it look like again? Probably 2 options if we are able to acquire these 3 properties on Park Street, and then 2 options if we're unable to do them, and what that might look like. But again, they're just going to develop concept, like renderings, like this is what we think you could do, and what that might run in terms of parking spaces that you might be able to do in most scenarios and whatever. But that is all their concept. And then that would be when the public comes in that first concept, say, you know, through the board, you know, what the town thinks they like out of those concepts, or which concept they would choose, and then start to refine that concept as they go forward. And then again, having additional public input, probably at least twice or more, as they're going through those final designs about, you know, what are you adding for, you know, landscaping, and what does the as the final design progresses, what should that look like? And again, as far as architecture, which again, there isn't much, you know, the engineering, you know, lighting, benching, you know, all those types of things. But there is going to be public input. It's not, you know, it's not like they're developing any kind of plans that are going to be like they can't turn back on. Again, they really develop nothing as a
I know, but if we're 8 weeks away from just concept plans, and then we've got to go through more processes to get to final plans approval and all of that, I don't see that as a 2017 start. And that's a construction professional's opinion, not just an
I mean, 8 weeks will get us to December, and then they said 12 weeks after that, which is, you know, again, March, April-ish.
I would think that's not unusual for a surface lot. If you're building a structure, there might be more.
Yeah, I mean, there's
To go into it.
not a lot.
Surface
Where it's a
There's
sur-
really not.
In order to maximize that lot, you're going to have to take a huge retaining wall to be able to slide the rail trail over to make room for all of that. This is a major construction, expensive construction project, something we looked at years ago, which is why we came up with the hybrid lot situation, because now we're talking about 2 flat surface lots also, because it would be the cheapest to develop. We've been looking at this for a long time with a lot of input.
I can appreciate that. I mean,
I know George can. I've known him for about, how long now? Hi, George.
Well, it will be vetted, and it will be transparent.
Which is what we've always said.
Right. Anybody else? Mr. Fay?
Yes, Jim Fay, Ayer citizen, among other things. My question goes to the final design process in terms of Mark being the project manager, and how that ties in with the Board of Selectmen as to who, in the military you'd call it operational control. Who's got the final say on the final design? Is it Mark because they've got the money, or
no,
is it the
no.
town because it's...
So again, the consultant works for us, but I mean, we're essentially working for the town.
Okay, I haven't met you, sir. I've met George, and I've met...
Yeah, I've been here, this is my 24th year, so I'm in the background. As it ends up, we hold the grant, and we're in charge of the grant, but we actually are working for the town, so it's the town's going to decide, you know, again, through the Board of Selectmen and public input, what they want that final design to look like. And again, when we won't proceed until the board says, you know, this is the one we've chosen, you know, in the concept, and again, and proceed with that. And then as they're going through the final design and putting together all the things that need to go with that, you know, the board will have to say, you know, this is the one, you know, we're signing off, you know, we're not making any more changes, adding any more lights or fencing or whatever it may be. It'll be the town Board of Selectmen that gives us that, you know, go ahead, this is it, we're good, and then they proceed with producing, you know, construction documents.
Just to follow up, Mr. Chairman, if I might, in the case of a 3-man board and one isn't here to vote, is your conflict still present in this project or not?
The overall,
Given that it's eminent domain, that goes away?
no, the overall, no, as far as the access here and everything, it's not an issue.
Okay.
Purchase of the property that one of my relatives owns on Park Street is an issue. So I haven't talked about that.
Would that go away, though, with
And
eminent domain?
What I understand from ethics is once they start the design process, I'm in,
Okay,
so I can speak.
thank you.
Anybody else? Yeah. You got anything, Robert? No? George, thanks for coming. Appreciate it. Mr. Fisher, appreciate it. I'm sure you keep Robert appraised of what's going on, and
Yeah, weekly, I just kind of keep them a weekly update, kind of, several points. So,
Yeah,
if any other questions
he
come
always
up, please
puts
just feel free to, through Robert or whoever, just submit them, and we'll give you responses back.
okay, very good. George, we'll see you tomorrow. MPO, you going?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Moving right along.
moving right along. We have,
Let me guess.
I believe we need to ask an
You're
Air
Sue.
citizen become a planning board chairman.
Come on up.
So,
Jim, you coming up too?
Well, my colleagues are under the, based on the agenda,
Yeah.
8 o'clock.
Okay.
We can discuss if you like, without a...
Or we can move on and wait a little bit
So,
and come back to
yeah.
him.
What?
just a point of order, Mr. Chairman, we have the joint meeting, as Mr. Fay mentions, for 8
Oh, that's
o'clock,
right, that's
And
right,
we
that's
usually
right.
don't have this problem of running ahead.
That's right.
So,
Oh,
under the
I
open
forgot all
meeting
about
law.
that. Okay.
it
Well,
is gonna
I
be-
actually came really hoping my colleagues might think the same way,
Yeah.
but,
Okay.
So,
see if
So we'll
we-
pass over,
Yeah, we'll come back to it.
and I forgot all about that, Robert.
yeah, I mean,
It's right,
I didn't even look.
it's right in front of me too.
yeah.
Dope.
Okay, so,
So it's on you.
So, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, given the fact that we just have a few minutes before the joint meeting with the planning board, I don't have any action items, which is unusual for tonight, but just a brief report. We mentioned the town meeting, so we're in good shape for that at the high school. And one of the things that had come up from Selectman Livingston, but also from other members of the public, is traditionally the town meeting has been recorded it's been taped by APAC and then played at a previous time. In other words, it's not filmed live. And I understand that historically the argument was, if you will, if it was played live, it may deter people from attending the town meeting because they're going to stay home and watch it. But we've also heard conversely people say that maybe if they saw it underway, they would come down to the meeting. And frankly, there's a lot of people that say that that really isn't going to determine the quorum or not. So one of the requests, and would be warrant discussing maybe briefly tonight, is the concept of having the town meetings broadcast live, assuming that can be done from the high school by APAC. So that was one thing that I was just going to bring
Did
up.
we get anything from them?
I haven't, well,
uh-oh.
No. Can't do it?
You can't do it?
so why don't I talk to them offline?
Okay.
So we do, but I think moving forward, we've heard increasingly from folks about the concept of having it broadcast live. In Selectman Livingston, you may want to.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, there's some people that would probably like to at least be a part of it. They can't get out of the house, but they want to at least be a part of it when watching it live. What good does it do to videotape it and then be posting it 4 or 5 days later? Because by then, everybody's lost interest. There are numerous situations when you have something live, people are watching it live going, I can be there in 3 minutes. And they come running down. And I think it should be live, not, posted 4 days later, 5 days later, and then it gets buried and no one watches it. You have a higher chance of maybe people who, let's be honest, it's gonna be the same people who always show up, the people that actively wanna show up. But we have a better chance of the public becoming aware of what's going on during town meeting if it's live.
I don't know if you get more participation, but I mean,
You might, because then if they see the process better, because they were sitting there live, then they might watch it better. And then they're at least feeling like they're paying attention, because if you see a sign saying town meeting is on October 24th, you know it's live. You weren't planning to go, but you might watch it. But if it's posted 4 or 5 days later, you don't care because it's the past. What's the point of having,
I don't
It-
think,
you know?
I personally, I don't think someone's gonna sit home and say, town
Well, you
meeting's
would
on
have-
tonight, I
well,
can't
you-
wait.
you never know. We've had some lively town meetings that quite honestly could bring in high ratings. Lord knows the Board of Selectmen meetings get some high ratings. Look at this energetic crowd.
So that's why I bring it up tonight and is.
I mean, it's the 21st century, and it should be live, not 4 or 5 days later being posted.
Okay, I hear you.
You know, I just think it's ridiculous.
So I'm assuming there's no objection to approaching APAC to ask them about doing that, and I'll talk to them offline. We won't start it tonight with the technical issues. I don't know what those are or if they are, but
Okay.
I don't
Yeah.
see because we have had, granted not breaking down the door, but we have had inquiries from the public and some even recently about having it done live.
Okay.
So
Can we do commercials and stuff so we can make some money off it? Or-
well, now you're getting creative. So
We could
okay.
do the perk commercials. We could do some PSAs.
I don't think
with it.
people will wanna see us doing a commercial.
Come on, you know we're as cute as a button.
So look into it.
Yep, so real quick, just a couple of updates, so I will do that. So we're in good shape for the town meeting. Once town meeting is concluded on Monday, we will be initiating the FY18 budget process. And as the board's aware, that's multi-steps and multi-phases that begin to unveil. The first one will be issuing after Monday the directives to all departments on FY18 capital requests. As the board's aware, any one-time expenditure over $10,000 will go to the capital planning committee, so we'll start that process with that schedule in place, and the board will be informed of that. As I informed the Board of Assessors would like to come to your first meeting in December, which is Tuesday, December 6th, at 7:30 p.m. to do the tax classification hearing. The board will obviously get more information very shortly on that. It is also a reevaluation year. The town has submitted has closed the books for the fiscal year, and we have submitted our request to the Department of Revenue to have the town's free cash certified as we go into town meeting, and we are optimistic, as we are generally almost every year, we're in good shape going into town meeting for that certification. Once we get that, the board will know, and I know it's less than a week, but we've been less than a week before, so we should be in good shape there. Also, we'll be launching, if you will, the whole FY18 budget process. Again, will be driven by my office per the Board of Selectmen. We'll put together that schedule. In part of what will be incorporated in talking with the department heads and so forth is to ensure that there's the budget process. We're going to put in a system that has some sign-offs. We're not looking to make more paperwork or what have you, but so for example, if the DPW draft budget is submitted on such and such a date, there's a sign-off system, so there's no falling through the cracks on that, and we'll have more information for the board on that. So we're really teeing up, if you will, obviously to have a successful town meeting on Monday, and then to begin the budget process moving
The
forward.
departments, I'm all for giving them what they need to a
Yeah.
point.
Right.
You know, they gotta realize too that it's not like an open piggy bank.
Well, I'm glad you brought, so Mr. Chair.
It's gotta be compelling.
Right.
Yes.
So to that point, I had a department head meeting last week, and we talked at length about the budget. And Ayer, I think, is a true, and some people may say I'm biased, but the proof is in the numbers.
Yeah.
The town of Ayer is very fiscally solvent, and that's a true testament to the board, to all of our boards, our volunteers, everybody that's involved in the town government has generally had a very conservative approach fiscally, which is a good thing. We also have had, and it's sort of a double-edged sword, as I think we've talked about, and the board has mentioned this, it's a virtue and it's a vice. We anticipate another positive year of certified free cash. It'll be 3 years in a row of approximately over $1 million each year of free cash. Many towns would love to have that problem. And so that it's a problem and it's an opportunity, because just as you mentioned, we need to, that's not guaranteed. Some of us were here when there was a year, there was a matter where we had a negative free cash balance.
Yep.
We know, for example, on the state level, that receipts and revenue on the state are very precarious.
Right.
There's changes, obviously. If you didn't know, there's an election, there'll be changes on the federal level. One of the things Mr. Johnston is seeing through the health end is that as the Affordable Care Act continues to be implemented, and that's not a political comment, it's a reality, there are new requirements and so forth, that health costs continue to be driving up. Everything's going up. I think we've been very proactive on many fronts, energy and so forth. But at that meeting, my point is, at that meeting, I stressed to the department heads that as we move forward in the FY18 budget, that the Board of Selectmen, the FinCom, myself, will be really looking at all of the requests. We want everybody to put forward their draft requests and so forth, but that we have to sort of get back to some of the policies and so forth that are in place. And we've discussed this, and I did bring this up at length per the board at the department head meeting, that the capital policy, we've got to get back on board with that. If it's applicable for a debt exclusion, that we've got to get back to that. And also we need to look at that threshold and see, is that adequate? Does that need to be changed? Thirdly, that in terms of new personnel requests and so forth are going to be looked at very closely by the board and everyone, because those costs, as you know, have accelerators in them and so forth. So there's a lot of work to be done. That don't want to be all doom and gloom. It's still a positive fiscal situation, which is great, but we need to, I've also explained that, you know, as you'll see at town meeting, if town meeting approves, we'll have replaced on the board's recommendation $300,000 of the committed UDAG funds. There's still a balance of $311,000 outstanding, which we'll address at another town meeting. So to your point, to Selectman Livingston's point, the board, the by-board point, that was all conveyed at the department head meeting. But I think we'll be in good shape for another successful FY18 budget process based on what we know now.
As far as the by-board, are we not a by-board anymore? Or are we just a board? Is the finance committee still have a quorum?
Yes, so the finance committee, good question, the finance committee as of today still has a quorum. It's a 5-member board. They have 3 members as of right now. However, we continue, we've been advertising this on the social media a lot. We do need members for the finance committee, because the significance is if we lose a member, we don't have a quorum, in addition to the whole finance piece, the reserve fund that the town has under Mass General Law, in order to access a reserve fund, if you have one established, requires a vote of the Finance Committee in terms of elected departments, and all of the departments under the Board of Selectmen requires a vote of the Board of Selectmen and FinCom. So we definitely need, and we've been trying to advertise all of the vacancies we have. We'd like to get folks involved.
Yeah, I've seen them out there. All right, and the other thing I should have asked, well, it's really not applicable to Bruno, but are we insured for if anybody falls over there, or if it gets icy, or,
Yeah.
I mean, on our property?
Yes, so it's a good question. So the USO building, the Advocates building, is owned by the town, as is that access property. We are in the process of putting together, the DPW will be maintaining that, we're responsible for it. It's all been added to the town's insurance. So both the folks in the building, outside the building and so forth, we are completely covered in that sense.
All right. Good.
So, I'm just, because I know we've got a few more minutes.
Stretch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for once we want you to talk.
I know.
Yeah, it's a real opportunity. So, and I just,
It's taken me 3 years, but I finally got him to stop saying through the chair to the so-and-so, whatever, but the one night when you could.
yeah. So I just want to, again, and I wish they were still here. I know that the folks from ADSAC are here, and back on the Mart project just real quick, and I know that the board knows this, but this is for the public record. We have the opportunity now to do a state-of-the-art project. And as everybody knows, just to be clear, it's a federal project. Mart is the project manager, regardless of whatever anybody's opinion is. They've been around since 1967. The Board of Selectmen ultimately have to approve the design, as you guys know. And we've made it clear that the board is going to approve that design after we've gone through the whole public process, which includes, there's going to be some public hearings and meetings that are required. As I mentioned, Alan is going on November 4th and November 5th, and this will be start advertising this tomorrow about what to do, what's the best use for the USO building. We'll do some of those other things. The advocates, yeah, the reason we're told, because advocates is an actual tenant, and there's the advocates program. They said you need to refer to the
But
building.
there's so many people
I
who
know.
don't
So the
even
advocates
know
building.
what the USO is.
Fair point, good point. The other piece on that is that going through that whole process, ultimately, if we haven't done that process, the board isn't going to put it forward. I mean, I'm not speaking for the board, but we want to do all of our due diligence because we want it to be a top-notch project. AdSec has been involved in those meetings. I've met with them. Kathleen O'Connor, on behalf of AdSec, was at this first internal meeting. Frankly, Mart, and they're not like this, but Mart doesn't even have to allow that. But a DPW superintendent has been at the table. So I think we're going to be in good shape. And again, I just want two final points on that. When we talk about the interim measures, that's just to make sure that the access is safe for the winter, that it's the interim lighting and everything. So we're not looking to, these aren't permanent improvements that are trying to skirt public process, obviously. And secondly, that it's going to be about 8 weeks, 7 weeks or so. These are just for the conceptual drawings, which will come to the town. And again, we'll do some workshops, so forth. We want input from all of the boards and committees, and as Selectman Livingston always reminds us, and you're correct, it is a surface lot, not trying to diminish it, but
Flat
we're not building a garage, it's not a huge structure, so it is an exciting project.
It's downsized tremendously.
And as you've mentioned, Selectman Luker and others on numerous times, and we're not there yet, and public safety will be consulted, the public, the board. We are going to have an interim parking issue that we need to have a plan and a solution for when they do the construction there. And I know that a lot of work was done on this hybrid lot concept in 2007. Everybody has the report, including the consultant. I've asked the consultant to do a whole analysis on the hybrid lot. I mean, everything's on the table. Ultimately, it's up to the board on that. So.
Right, and I know talking to Thatcher Giza up in Mass Development, I mean, they want to make sure everything's right too, because they want to run shuttles. From here and from Shirley, you know, for employees. So, you know, it just doesn't affect us.
And not only that, I mean, seriously, for the last few years, this board has been very clear numerous times of saying that the public would always be a part of this process. Every time Mark came to see us before, it was always stated that the public would be a part of the process. And it does get a little disheartening when you're constantly saying it. It's put in print, and yet you've got one or two people who are insinuating that it's not going to be a public process. It's going to be a public process.
Bottom line is it's our decision, and however we get the information, it's fine with me.
If the public doesn't have any input, well, then that gives us a decision. The public has some input, that helps give us a decision, you know? But it's kind of annoying. So, anyway.
We're almost till 8 o'clock, just as the PSA says, for the open meeting law, it's going to be.
Oh, no, we got 3.
The joint,
we gotta wait till 8
It's got to be at 8 o'clock because we posted it for 8. And I think you almost have, Mr. Fay almost has he at least has a quorum, so we're almost there. So 2 final points, other community events coming. The Holiday Lights program for 2016. This year we're going to, on Saturday, December 3rd, we're going to have a tree lighting here at the town hall. This year's program will include the lighting of the Rotary the lighting of all of the street poles, the lighting of the town hall, the tree. We're also looking to add some more lights to that. And Alan has a plan he's already ordered the candles, and this has been approved. They're going to have a candlelight walk. We're going to ask people to meet at the rail trail lot, and they're going to come down Main Street here, and I think we're going to have a surprise visitor for the kids and so forth. But
The Easter Bunny?
The Easter Bunny, but the holiday.
The
So that program is underway. The town is most appreciative to the voters of town meeting for $10,000.
Yeah.
We're looking to raise another $10,000. So we have some great corporate sponsors, but as I always say, every sponsor, we've had people give $1, $5 to the effort has helped.
It
So,
looked much better last year.
so that's going to be coming up in December, and Alan's looking to expand it downtown. So
Great.
So unless there's any other questions, again.
We have minutes.
Yes, I was gonna say, when we go ahead and, I looked at them, they look great.
Oh, the
I
minutes.
agree with them. So
Okay.
I make a motion that the meeting minutes from Tuesday, October 4th, 2016 be approved as submitted.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
These are for you.
Thank you.
Let me just minutes.
And I have no business or selectmen's questions.
I really don't know.
Tuesday, 18th?
Can recess for 4 minutes. Or we can just keep talking.
Well, we could add, we've never really had this problem, but as everybody knows, there is a major election on Tuesday, November 8th. So
Really? I don't think it's been very
Yeah.
well publicized.
So the polls are open here at the town of Ayer. Here at the town hall, polls are open 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. In accordance with the Secretary of State's office, there'll be no public meetings held here that day because it is a polling place. It's going to be a busy polling place. I guess tomorrow's the last day to register to vote for that election. Early voting starts with the town clerk on Monday, the 24th.
Right,
So,
till November 4th.
yep, so we've got that coming up.
And she's even gonna have an early voting hours on a Saturday.
Yes, yep, yep. So, yes, and she will be open tomorrow until 8 p.m. for folks to register. If you haven't registered to vote for the presidential election, you have till 8 o'clock tomorrow. And if you live in Ayer, obviously you should come here to the town hall to do that.
Right, she said she was opened one of the Saturdays too, right?
Yes.
Yeah, the 29th of October, she was gonna open at least 4 hours, I think,
Mhm.
for people to be able to come in and early vote.
Great. Hi, Mark.
Tick, tick.
You want to be recognized?
I'm gonna go get
Mark Fermanian.
I'm gonna go get a drink of water.
Go have a drink of water. Wow. It was pretty good.
Robert, who are you voting for? Let's zoom in on that one.
You've got 3 minutes.
And the agenda item is the joint meeting of the Board of Selectmen and the Planning Board to appoint a planning board member to fill a vacancy that exists on the planning board. The candidate has submitted her letter of intent and credentials to the Board of Selectmen as well as the planning board, which you have. Both chairmen conduct the meeting, if you will. They interview the candidate. If a motion is made and seconded, then it's a majority vote of the selectmen and the planning board selects that candidate. Upon appointment, that candidate will serve as a member of the planning board upon being sworn in by the town clerk until the spring election in April of 2017, where that candidate may choose to run then for the seat, or others can also run as well. So that's just to explain the process, and Mr. Chair, it is 8 o'clock.
It is that time. When was the term?
It will, This is just to fill the vacancy till the spring.
Oh, until the meeting.
Yeah.
Right. Hi.
Table with us.
Mr. Fay, you should change the sign.
Can I bang the gavel one more time?
We don't have a gavel.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, thank you very much for seeing us. Jim Fay, Chairman of the Ayer Planning Board. I would like to call to order my planning board. I have with me this evening Ms. Jen Gibbons, Mr. Mark Vermanian, clerk. Jen is my vice chair. Mr. Tillotson could not be here tonight due to a work commitment, but he is, not to speak for him, but he's in favor of our candidate as we have presented Ms. Kennedy for appointment. So I call to order then the meeting of the planning board for October 18th, 2016, and now defer to you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Sue Kennedy, this is your life. Why do you want to be a member of the planning board here?
I was actually looking to I just moved to Ayer in April and was interested in getting involved and learning about my new town and between this and FinCom. I've done a little bit of planning. I served 3 years on the East Acton Village.
Yeah, I saw that.
Committee, so I'm somewhat familiar with it. And
Yeah.
I thought it'd be a great way. I met Jim, actually. I'm on the 4th of July committee also.
Oh, yeah? That's all, just,
And the master plan committee.
is that it?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
one more thing you might like to know about our political experience.
I know already, I heard.
Oh.
That's fine, I mean, good. The more people that participate, the better. Nice
I'm
try,
on the
Mark.
Democratic State Committee. I will say.
Oh, it's
back
a good
when I
thing you
first-
two are apart.
First got on it, the Republican State Committee man also lived in Acton, and
Yeah.
we worked, back then, we worked together
Right.
on the fire station
Yeah.
and all these things, and it wasn't like it is now.
I used to work at the post office in Acton. I did for a couple of years, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, nice community.
but it was all the people who were active, and we didn't even
Right.
hate each other. It's got,
We don't hate each other, do we?
okay.
You and me?
Well,
Mr. Fay?
some days.
Sue, could you expand, I know you have your Acton planning experience, could you expand on your connection to the Electoral College?
Oh, yeah.
Good.
I voted for Barack Obama, but
Well, I meant just,
On the electoral.
that's still an active position for you?
the new one will be going in.
Mhm,
I will be, yeah.
Oh, so you were on the state electoral? Oh, how interesting.
Yes.
Well, for
Actually,
federal.
it's a-
Well, I mean, the federal, yeah. State of Massachusetts, federal, yeah. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So, you get a lifetime.
I didn't mind to minimize it. It wasn't my intent, you know. It is, it's good to participate, period. Yeah.
So
I'm
do you need a
excited.
motion?
There's a lot going on. I hear I've been kind of going through the proposed zoning changes, the update, and the master plan is that they're gonna almost bump into each other, right? That's what it sounded like that's gonna be.
Is that going to be a reality,
Pace ourselves.
the changes to the zoning bylaws?
Yes, if I might address that, Mr. Chair.
People keep asking me.
Briefly, I'll be brief.
Yeah, right.
We do, actually, we meet next Thursday night, which is a continuing once-a-month effort to revise and update our operating procedures and our subdivision regulations. We're also continuing to work through legal with
Judy Bear.
Judy
Barrett.
Barrett.
She's still
who I
around.
Actually worked with 18 years ago, and to that same end. So we expect, we're giving ourselves, as a board, we're giving ourselves a year to present to hopefully a fall meeting to the town as to the updates of the subdivision regulations. And I'm very enthused that we'll get there, because one of the reasons I reached out to Ms. Kennedy is that she has extensive administrative experience in that regard. So,
Great.
I see her as a great asset going forward.
Sure. I mean, you know, you had Jeffrey's pretty good too, right? As far
I'm
as-
sorry?
Jeffrey.
Yes, he is,
Joseph.
yeah, and he's also on our master plan committee.
Yeah.
And of course, Jen, we go way back in that same regard as to the planning updates and such, so.
Good.
With that,
Make a motion to accept the candidate.
second,
Moved and seconded. All in favor of accepting Sue? Aye.
aye.
All opposed? None. Congratulations, I think.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yes, indeed, all right, welcome.
Congratulations.
Or condolences, as the case may be.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
So you,
Thank you, sir. It wasn't me. Sorry.
We get a picture of our new board?
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
Wanna join?
somebody, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's true, in all fairness, yeah, we'll hopefully.
Jeff would be jealous if there was a photo with that.
Will you take that picture and you send it to us?
you'll just want to
I
go
will.
Want to adjourn?
to get sworn.
Push
Yeah.
mine, I have another camera.
Did you make a motion to
Are you
adjourn?
Sue or Susie?
Did you adjourn?
Move to, we adjourned the.
Here's the
Second.
paper I see, though.
All in favor?
Oh, notes.
Aye.
I make a motion that the Board of Selectmen adjourn?
Second.
Timing is everything.
All in favor?
Aye. We're adjourned.
Thank you very much.
It's sad that we have more on the board than you guys do.
Nope, I know, really. I know it. That'll change.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good luck, Sue. Nice seeing you.
Does Don know we?
Don?